Glory to Ukrainian heroes. Today is March 23, this military media center, 393rd day of Ukrainian defense, and today our briefing is dedicated to the air assault forces of Ukraine about their peculiarities of planning and practical approaches to the training of units of the separate branch of forces during repelling large-scale invasion of the Russian Federation. So we have the acting chief of J7 of the Air Assault Command, Colonel Alexander Kupinsky, and deputy chief of staff of the Air Assault Forces Command of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Colonel Viktor Lilchak. Good afternoon, colleagues. Glory to Ukraine. I am a deputy chief of staff of the Air Assault Forces Command, Colonel Viktor Lilchak. Let's go back to the history. The Air Assault Forces Command, as a separate branch, was created 10 years ago, in 2013, at the end of the year. The dedication of all of our commanders, brigade commanders, was concentrated on the training of our subordinate personnel. So in year 2013, as far as you know, we have a decrease of the personnel in the armed forces, in particular in the air assault forces. So that we created a short battalion tactical group based on the units which were under the reduction, so that we saved the unit. This group in 2014 participated in the combat warfares for Luhansk airport. The same since the aggression in 2014, all of our efforts were directed on the sophisticating of air assault forces. In 2014, 71st Air Mobile Brigade was formed. As far as you know, the units of this brigade defended Donetsk airport. Same year, the quantity of personnel of our branch wasn't very big. It was up to 10,000 personnel. But with time, they, including the new ways of projecting forces, the air assault forces personnel quantity was increasing. So that in year 2017, 2019, 46 separate air assault brigade was participating in the line of disengagement of ATO at that time. At the same time, our subordinate units are conducting the training abroad in our training centers. As far as you know, in year 2015, the Air Assault Forces Command was dislocated to Zhytomyr. And was operated on the base of previous Air Assault Corps. Some new military units were formed. For example, the Air Assault Training Center, where we have the trainings of our servicemen. Since the large-scale aggression of the Russian Federation in the east part of our country, it was the immediate necessity to create the new military units. They are operating on the front line. Some of them participated in Kiev during the Kiev defense, especially they were actively defending Makarov. They were managed to repel the Russian forces, so that to avoid the Russian Federation forces seizing of this city. This is not the work of on the field. It was a common work of the headquarters of the 14th, of the 10th Brigade, of the land forces. At the current moment, the Air Assault Forces Command is building up the quantity and improving the quality of the servicemen by creating the new units of the air assault forces, reacting to the challenges caused by this war. At the current moment, our quantity was increased in multiple times. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the number. It's a classified information. At the current moment, we are improving the cohesiveness of our units. The implementation of the new schools in the training centers of the air assault forces are created, and we do not have a situation when the air assault forces servicemen without any training is sent to the front line. The duration of air assault forces servicemen training depends on whether it's necessary to conduct the basic camp of the military training or the professional one. On average, it durates around 1 month. I would like to mention that all of the commanders we had in the air assault forces multiplied the quality of our forces and their trainings. It's noticeable because at the current moment the air assault forces is a skeleton, is a base for the defending of our country and repelling the Russian armed forces aggression. So our forces, they are operating like a spring. At the one moment we are just like under the pressure, and then after the release we are managing to repel the occupants. Thanks our speaker for the interesting information. Now the chief of the training center of the J7 of the Air Assault Forces Command, Colonel Alexander Kupinsky. I give him a floor. He will tell some peculiarities concerning the training of Air Assault Forces units. Good afternoon. My name is Colonel Alexander Kupinsky. I'm acting chief of the J7 of the Air Assault Forces Command. Every serviceman recruited to the armed forces of Ukraine, including the air assault forces, is undergoing the basic military trainings, after finishing which he has a professional trainings according to his specialty. The program of the combined arms trainings is dedicated for servicemen of personnel which are coming to serve according to the contract, or those who have the experience of serving over 5 years. During the training, the main focus is concentrated on building up the servicemen primarily knowledges and skills necessary to get the specialty small arms marksman. During the trainings we are using the methods starting from the easiest one to the comprehensive one. The instruction is given by the trainers. Almost 75% of them have undergo through the large-scale aggression of the Russian Federation, and they have the knowledges and skills to train the recruited personnel. So our training is conducted in the following manner. We have an exhibition, a simulation of what we will train, and then the step-by-step training to improve the result and the skills. After finishing of their combined arms training, they will have more thorough trainings in marksmanship trainings, tactical medicine trainings, engineer trainings, the basics of reconnaissance, military topography, and air assault trainings. After finishing the training, every serviceman is capable to serve his personal weapon, to carry out the combat warfares under different circumstances, to build up and fortificate the firing positions, to breach the explosive obstacles. To set up the different types of mines on the direction of enemy actions. Prior sending to the area of operation, our servicemen are sent to the area of operation only after finishing their basic military trainings, duration of which is 30 days, as well as specialty professional trainings, the duration of which depends on the specialty and may durate up to 1 month. The training process is divided into several stages. The first stage is the recruiting of servicemen in the recruiting center, where we are checking his medications, preparedness, his level of motivation, lack of any illegal actions, and the readiness to carry out missions defending their country. After recruiting servicemen, we are forming the training unit in which they are undergoing the basic military trainings for 30 days. After finishing the basic military trainings, including the individual skills, including anthropometry data of servicemen, they are spread to their special professional trainings according to their military educational specialty in different training centers of the air assault forces. And after finishing their professional specialty trainings, the servicemen are sent to the air assault forces units, where the training process isn't over. As soon as they will come to the military unit, they will continue to be involved in the cohesion process of units. During the trainings, we are forming their morale. They are breaching and passing the obstacle line, where we have some portion of land where they are crawling over 100 meters. We are creating a real scenario situation by arranging the explosions so that the servicemen are getting used to the real combat situation. Despite the servicemen of the air assault forces are conducting the trainings, they are improving their cohesiveness on the different levels, starting from the squad, finishing with the battalions and brigades. For example, we have the headquarters trainings on the battalion and brigade levels. The trainings are conducted not only in our training centers, but as well we have the trainings of our armed forces abroad on the installations of our Western partners. Since the full-scale aggression, more than 10,000 servicemen were conducted the combined arms trainings, and almost another 10,000 personnel had the trainings concerning their professional specialty trainings on the Western installations, learning the material and equipment of our colleagues and Western partners. Thanks to the speakers. Now we will have questions. Thank you for your attention, and I am really ready to give an answer to the question. Alexander Kropach, Kyiv Television. You told about military trainings of air assault forces. Are there any difference between the ordinary units trainings and the air assault forces trainings? Air assault forces units has their own specifications concerning the trainings. We are training them under severe psychological and physical pressure. We are preparing them, we are training them so that they will be able to conduct the landings with parachute or from the sea. Our trainings includes the complex of tasks, of tactical trainings, where we are conducting the trainings concerning the executing all of the rules concerning on the field. Army inform, I have the question to the chief of training center, including our combat actions. Is it actual to have the landing trainings? Landing air assault trainings do not include only the landing. It also includes the enhance of the servicemen to break their fear, to be ready to make a jump with a parachute or the landing without any parachutes, for example, by using different sort of cords, where our servicemen are landing on the cords from the aerial vessel. This training, if they are not actual nowadays, it will be actual tomorrow. I also would like to add that there is a demand of the Air Assault Forces commander that every serviceman of the Air Assault Forces has to undergo the trainings concerning the landing by using the cord, as well as our servicemen are carrying out the jumps, making the landings with the different type of parachutes. Did we have any landings during the Russian Federation full-scale aggression? Yes, the reply is yes. We had such type of landings with parachutes, but unfortunately we can't say where and when. Could you tell, please, what are the professional specialties where our Air Assault Forces servicemen are conducting the trainings abroad on the Western Partners installation? So abroad, during the week, our servicemen have undergone through the basic military trainings. Our Western partners came to our country to inspect how do we conduct these trainings. They made some corrections and are conducting such kind of trainings back there during 5 weeks. So then we have those type of trainings, and then are sending our servicemen to master the Western types of material and military equipment, including vehicles, grenade launchers, training of crews of armored personnel carriers, engineer trainings, and sniper trainings. Thank you. I have 2 questions. The first one, what is the difference between the quality of trainings in the UK and in our training centers? Because we have the situation that the real combat actions revealed that our way of training are more useful than theirs. And the second question, could you give a number? How many recruitments, mobilized personnel have undergone through the trainings, and how many ammo, how many ammunition did they use during the trainings prior sending to the combat warfare zone? The difference between the trainings of the UK and our is that they took into consideration our way of trainings, but made some injects. They have a little bit, they are paying a little bit more attention to the security measures. We are training our personnel physically, psychologically, to be able to operate in the real combat scenario, in the real combat situation. Concerning, what about the second question? For year 2022, 19.5 thousand servicemen have undergone trainings in training centers. This year, a little bit more than 7,000. Despite, for the period of year 2022-2023, almost 8,000 servicemen have undergone the basic military trainings abroad, 4,000 professional specialty military trainings abroad. According to the training program, we have 81 hours of marksmanship trainings, including practical and theoretical trainings. Our instructors are giving detailed information about how to use the different types of equipment, how to operate, serve the weapon. During the practical trainings, they are carrying out 31 firing exercise. Each exercise has its own number of ammo to be used during the trainings, but this is considering the basic military trainings, during which our servicemen are shooting more than 600 ammunition. During the trainings, every serviceman is throwing the grenade, including throwing the grenade at length, during the offense, and with accuracy. At first, we are preparing the serviceman physically how to throw the grenade so that he will be able to throw it as far as possible and as accurate as possible. During every marksman trainings, our servicemen are throwing the offensive grenade RGD. What types of weapons and military equipment we would like not to tell any big numbers to the enemy. So it seems that we spent more than 15 million ammo for the trainings of different calibers. But it seems that we have a deficit of ammo. So if we have 500,000 recruited personnel and each of them will throw one grenade, it seems that we will throw 500,000 grenades. How do we deal with such kind of challenges? And the reply is that the main aim of the training center is to conduct the qualified training of subordinate personnel. And I'm sure that we are doing it successfully. And if we have some shortages concerning the ammo, we are making the request, and as a result, we are supplied with all necessary ammo. Besides, we have a lot of imitational blank shootings from the grenade launchers, from the different type of ammo prior to have a combat shootings. The recruit guy, serviceman, is undergoes through the different blank shootings trainings. Do we have any other questions? Fifth channel. I have a question to the Deputy Chief of Staff. I would like you to react to the brigade commander trooper call sign. He said that we are struggling in conducting the qualified trainings, which brings about to the casualties on the battlefield. What can you tell about this? Thank you for your question, Fifth channel. First of all, the battalion commander. He is just one element of the brigade. He is able to see what's going on only in the battalion. He partially knows the tasks of his neighbors, but he can't have the imagination of the entire situation of what's going on in the brigade, in the entire brigade. Of course, it's very hard on the front line. Everybody is under stress. There is a tension there. We have conducted an investigation in military unit. So during in such situation, in order to give such an interview to Washington Post, he had to undergo through the different sort of checks. I know this commander, thanks to him. Not only thanks to him, it was a collective work. It's what is joint efforts, but thanks to him, the Makarov was able to be hauled. This commander operated in the outskirts of Makarov. He conducted his combat missions successfully. The same he did in Vuhledar, but we are overseeing the commanders who are operating since 2014, and we have such commanders who are serving and waging a warfare since 2014 and are the brigade commanders right now. This commander was appointed to the battalion leader so that he is able to share the experience with the servicemen who are coming to undergo through the trainings in the training centers. For example, his next position will be the Deputy Chief of Staff of Brigade, or even the Brigade Commander. Thanks to our speakers, thanks for participation in this briefing, thanks to mass media. I will mention once more time that we had a briefing of the Air Assault Forces in Military Media Center. We had the Deputy Chief of Staff of the Air Assault Forces, Colonel Viktor Lulchak, and Acting Chief of J7 of the Air Assault Forces, Colonel Alexander Kupinsky. Thank you for your attention.